Hello, and welcome to this gathering of the Church of the Oak. My name is Charlie. I am a Christopagan druid and priest of Bridget.
Hello, everyone. My name is Brian. I'm a Christopagan druid and sous chef to the Dagda.
This is one of those days, if you've ever done church services or any kind of meeting or ritual where you feel like you're getting confirmation that this is something that you need to be doing, because just a little peek behind the scenes, like everything that, not everything, but a lot of things that could have gone wrong did, like within minutes before we went live. And I feel like when you meet that kind of resistance, it's like, oh yeah, we must be pushing against something that we need to be pushing on right now. And I take it as encouragement, but that's again from my experience. How are you doing today?
Oh, yep, challenged. Oh, scrambling. I went from being like so prepared for everything except the couple things that hit right at the last, like literally the last 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and left me kind of scrambling and feeling fully unprepared at this point. But is life.
So just a couple notes. If you see me looking off to the side here, that's because that's where I can see chat and everything else that's going on, and where the controls are for the stream. Hello, Brindle Sides, Brindle Style. Um, this is a meeting, a gathering where we come together and we are going to pray, we're going to meditate, and we're going to have a bit of conversation and talk about things that are going on in the world today. Our meeting today is themed very heavily around uh, the commemoration of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday, which was Monday. And we're actually going to be looking at a portion of a speech that he gave as inspiration for our conversation and everything that follows. Don't worry if you are not familiar with the way that we do things around here. We all come with what we have to the meeting, and I will explain things as we go. You are not expected to believe anything. You are not expected to be a part of what we are doing. If you just watch, that's fine. If you participate, all the better. As Brian just said, yeah, we had everything down. We thought we were 100% ready and locked in for this, and then chaos ensued. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. We like to begin with an encircling prayer. The encircling prayer or Kayam prayer is a time for us to, one, recognize and see the presences around us, and to enter into the circle of presence that we form together. Then we are going to call into the circle what we want to have near us and cast far away what we do not want to have with us. So feel free in chat or even in the comments if you're watching this at a later date to put in what you would like to call in and send out. But we talked about this, and we are going to add to this a call very much out of the Druid tradition to the beginning of this as we begin. So get yourself comfortable wherever you're sitting. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. May there be peace in the east. May there be peace in the south. May there be peace in the west. May there be peace in the north. May there be peace above us, and may there be peace below us. And may we settle into and find a great, deep, and abiding peace within. Blessed are you, O most holy one, who is the one in whom we live, move, and have our being. Your presence is ever within us, around us, and flowing through us as we walk through the world. Come near to us in this time of prayer and meditation, and may all distraction, worry, and doubt be far away. For Jesus has promised us that if we who are burdened and heavy laden should take up his cross and follow him, for his yoke is light and easy to bear. May peace be close to us and disturbance far away. May joy and wonder be close to us, and sorrow and suffering far away.
May wisdom be close to us, and impatience be far away.
May our creativity ever be close to us, and all that would block us in mind, body, and spirit be far away. May transformation and joy and the celebration that comes with them ever be close to us, and may stagnation and dryness be far away. Amen.
Amen.
So today, what we wanted to talk about is something that I know both Brian and I have found ourselves saying, and something that we see a lot of people both in our daily lives and online saying. And it's this sense of, oh, why did I have to be born now? Why did I have to live through these kinds of interesting times? And we see people postulating and speculating about, well, it would have been better if we lived in this time or that time or the other time. And I know that I'm liable to have these thoughts. I have them not too often, but here lately, I've been feeling them quite a bit. And so I thought it was interesting when Heather Cox Richardson reminded me of how the speech Dr. King gave, his last public speech in Memphis, Tennessee, started. We all are kind of familiar with the end. This is I've seen the glory from the mountaintop. That's where the speech is going. That's where the speech is heading. And we all know those parts of it. But at the beginning, he starts off with what I have very flippantly called the best gratitude practice that I've seen in a long time. Because it's not forcing gratitude on us that we should be grateful. It's looking at the times in which we live and seeing why we could be grateful that we're here now. And he gives a long list that if he were able to stand with God at the beginning of time and see the whole panorama of time stretching out before him, why he would not have chosen to be in the time of Moses, in the time of Wittenberg, in the time of the Renaissance. And he goes through all of these time periods. And then the speech takes a turn to his present day.
Strangely enough, I would turn to the Almighty and say, if you allow me to live just a few years in the second half of the 20th century, I will be happy. Now, that's a strange statement to make because the world is all messed up. The nation is sick. Trouble is in the land, confusion all around. That's a strange statement. But I know somehow that only when it is dark enough can you see the stars. And I see God working in this period of the 20th century in a way that men in some strange way are responding. Something is happening in our world. The masses of people are rising up, and wherever they are assembled today, whether they are in Johannesburg, South Africa, Nairobi, Kenya, Accra, Ghana, New York City, Atlanta, Georgia, Jackson, Mississippi, or Memphis, Tennessee, the cry is always the same: we want to be free.
And I feel that so hard today. Heather Cox Richardson used this actually as the end of the article that she wrote about all the things going on right now. And then pointed out in the 1930s, in the 1920s, in the 1880s, in the 1850s, when these similar things were happening, so many more people just nodded their head and said, okay, let's do it. But today, people are standing up. They're rising up. They're speaking out. They're taking action in a way that we did not see in previous centuries, even in the last one. With all the saber rattling with Vietnam, most people just nodded along. And the saber rattling with Iraq and Afghanistan, people just nodded along.
Even in sharing the stories, there was, in the past, when you would have a altercation with law enforcement in the streets that resulted in a death, it was just the story from the accounts of the people there, and we just had to go, well, which side do we trust? And now more people are sharing that story. They're able to show, and even in that other instance, there was a lot of footage, so we could see the truth for ourselves. And even though it's something that most shouldn't have to see, it's still something that allows us to better understand and can make a better, more educated decision of who's lying, who do we trust.
And people are open to that question in ways that I know in my lifetime I just didn't experience. I think the first time I ever saw this kind of public reaction to a police action was the Rodney King. Somebody just happened to be close enough to it that they filmed it on tape, and it got released. And there was just people nodding along for the most part of, well, I mean, he shouldn't have done this, he shouldn't have done that. And you're still hearing some of that today. But that was the majority opinion back then. And it's not now. It's hard for us to realize how out of step those who are in power are with the needs and wants of the people and what we need, what we want, what we believe to be right and wrong. it's hard for a lot of us to kind of wrap our heads around that. But to me, the most amazing thing about right now, and while I don't know that I would have the courage to say with Dr. King, I want to be alive now. I feel like I would be enough of a coward to be like, can we scroll ahead until like more of this is taken care of? Like,
It is the easy answer, yeah, and an understandable one.
I mean, I want to believe that I would have that kind of courage. And it's easy to say while living in these times to be like, oh yeah, I would definitely be that person. But I
think that really is like to what you're getting to. This is a practice of clarity, not gratitude. It's being able to see that though we do live in interesting times, we have more clarity now. We can see even more. And that also allows more people to be able to clearly see this is wrong. What's being done is wrong. When the two contradicting stories come up and we know somebody's lying in there or at least ill-informed, we at least can see more now and can better discern and have that clarity, like that's wrong.
And just the simple fact that more people are willing to do that right now. Like, yes, this is probably one of the scariest periods I've lived in. I know I tend to think back to 2004, 2005, when it really felt like the LGBTQ community that I'm a part of was going to be legislated out of existence. I mean, they were really not out of existence, but you know what I'm saying, that harsher penalties were going to come back, that they were going to overturn Stevens, and it really felt dark to me then. And it feels really dark to me now, but I see the difference in that some people spoke up in the early 2000s. Some people spoke up against what was being done to LGBTQ people, what was being done to Muslim immigrants, what was being done in Iraq and Afghanistan. But now something happens and it's like millions of people are on the streets. That I've never seen that before. Like, something happens now and there is a hue and cry from the land of, this is not how we want things to be. And we need to do everything in our power to keep that sense of solidarity and to grow it and to mature it and to continue on in that so that we can have a brighter future. And yeah, of all the times to live, I don't know that there really is a great time, because there's always something going on in the world. But to at least live in a time when people are noticing that change is possible and believing and working for it.
And that's also where we turn to those endearing truths. The fact that we live in times where communication is readily, easily accessible. We can film and document beyond just our own witnessing and testimony, but we can actually film it and show this is what actually happened, and share that. And that becomes, something that we are grateful for, but also, it's not glossing over any of the stuff that's going on. We're able to live with both truths and hold them both evident.
And that, I think, brings us beautifully to our next time of meditation. We practice what we call the within, around, through meditation. And we do that because that tells you how to do that. It just tells you how to do it in its name. We're going to focus within. Then we're going to bring our attention to what is going on around us. And then we're going to bring our attention to what is flowing through us. This is a way to both root into place and to be sensitive and knowledgeable, to be mindful of what is going on with us, around us, and through us. And as we do this, certain thoughts might arise. They might be images, they might be feelings. The important thing to do when that happens is to just note that it happened. When a thought arises, just say, a thought. When a feeling arises, just say, a feeling. We're not bringing judgment into this space. We're not saying good feeling or bad feeling. We're just noticing that a feeling occurred. And that's important because we need to realize that we are not our feelings. We are not our thoughts. We are not our sensations. And during this time of meditation, we are going to settle in to the knowledge that we are the knower, that we are the witness. So if you would with me, take a deep breath in and out. Just settle into wherever you're sitting or lying down. If you're listening to us while walking or exercising, just take the deep breath and be present in that moment. Just in and out. And as you're settling into your body, start noticing what's going on within you. It could be little things, maybe a little itchiness here or there. Maybe you're hungry, maybe you're full. Just take a quick moment and get a read on what's going on with your body. Never forgetting to breathe in and out. And now dig a little bit deeper. Not just what are you feeling in your body, what are you feeling within? Do you feel worry, doubt, happiness? Do you feel calm, disturbance? What are you feeling within? We're just checking in and noticing and recognizing it and saying, I see you. You're here, and I am here. And after that last deep breath, allow your mindfulness to move out to the space around you. What's going on around you? Is it hot? Is it cold? Is the air still? Is it moving? Are there other people or animals moving around you? Just be present in this place. And anytime any of those sounds happen, just label it person, cat, tree limb, whatever it might be. Now widen your attention just a little bit more. And I'm not going to suggest anything that might come into mind here. It might be something that's currently happening in your town or city or neighborhood, in your family, in your nation, in the world. But look for what comes to mind. Just be mindful. And whatever it is, let it arise. And just notice that it is there. Do not label it as good or bad, just as something that is there. Now let's take a deep breath in and out. And now notice what is passing through you. What on the outside is going in, and what on the inside is going out. This could be as literal as your breath. As you breathe in and out, you might notice that thoughts, worries about things that are happening outside of you are coming in, and something is moving out from you, maybe anger or sadness or loss. We're not saying anything about whether any of this is good or bad. We're just noticing. Just seeing the flow of what comes in and what goes out. Now, I want you to take this one step deeper. What is it that you want to be available to you outside? And what is it that you want to be capable of on the inside? Is there a yearning or a desire there? Just breathe in and out. No judgment, just noticing. As you behold all the things outside you, what is coming in? And with all the things moving and stirring within you, what is going out? And now, as we breathe in, we feel our chest, and we breathe out, we feel our body. We settle into the space that we are in. If you closed your eyes, now is the time to open them, slowly and gently, to welcome yourself back into the space that you are in. Don't rush from this place. We've brought to mind the many things happening within us, around us, and through us, including what we desire and what we yearn for. And now we take a moment to practice faith. Faith is not about belief. It's about hope. It's not a list of things that you sign on to. It is the strength that we accrue in ourselves to take action. What did you want to see coming in? What did you want to see flowing out? What is the change that you want to see in this world? To put it in the terms that we saw with Dr. King, what about this moment did you see either within you or around you or working its way through you that makes you glad to be born here, now?
That was the thing I found so moving in his speech, because he talked about, it's in those darkest moments that you can see the stars in the sky. And I think about that. In those darkest moments, you can see the stars in the sky. And it reminds me, like, yeah, even though all this stuff's going on, what good things are going on around? So many breakthroughs, science, technology, that is absolutely amazing. They're bright stars.
And I would add to that so many people that are finding their voice right now, that are finding their spirit, that are finding their calling right now, that are finding ways to actively engage and be a part of something. We have been mired for decades in what has been termed the meaning crisis. And it's because we simplified the idea of meaning and purpose down into something that we believe. Well, we discovered the meaning of life. Somebody tells it to us, and then we know it, and everything's better now. But what we've actually learned is that a sense of meaning and purpose actually arises from what we do. When we take actions that we feel are significant, not like necessarily societally significant, but significant to us, that matter. Those things that we would hope would be done whether we were there or not. Something significant to us. That's where a sense of purpose and meaning arises from. And I think a lot of people are discovering a sense of purpose and meaning right now in learning to stand up for and with others, in learning to speak up and use their voice, in learning that they have more strength within them than they ever thought that they did. I know it's one of the things that I've been learning about myself, and it may just be me projecting that out, but
well, and even in this country, so many cried out, why does it matter who I elect? Why does it matter who wins this office or that office? The both sides are the same, and they're getting their answer. And hopefully they're able to see and recognize the answer that it does matter. Sometimes it may be a subtle mattering, but there is a difference. And that action is what is valuable. Just taking that action when the opportunity comes up, and also that opportunity only comes up every couple of years or so.
And I don't know if it's going to show up on the recording or not, but you can hear our cat clearly speaking her truth in this moment. And I don't know, I find it oddly appropriate that now's the time she chose to speak up.
Yeah.
There's something powerful in that. So as we are about to head out and go our separate ways, know that we do not have to dissolve or break this circle, because it is the one that we have always lived in, whether we noticed or saw. That the great circle of God, as it was said in a Renaissance manuscript, God is an intelligible sphere whose circumference is everywhere and whose center is nowhere. We have all been in this circle. And so as we head out, hopefully feeling a bit, if not better, but a bit more built up and ready to go about our way, I want to just leave you with a very simple blessing. That in this dark night, when we look up and we see the stars, we remember that at the very core of our being, we are made of star stuff. The same thing that burns in those stars that lights the sky makes up your bones, blood, and flesh. You are star stuff. We can burn as brightly in the dark nights that we find ourselves walking through. And that basic blessing of the cosmos is always with us. And when we choose to think about it and understand how many billions of years are contained just inside all of this, it's such a magical thing. So, in the name of the one in whom we live, move, and have our being, may you go out into this world in peace and compassion and mindfulness and find others that will join you as you walk, as together we move evermore towards that glorious world to come, where justice and equity reign. Amen.
Amen.